According to research from the National Institute of Health, it demonstrates that plant-based diets are cost-effective, low-risk intervention which may lower body mass index, blood pressure, and cholesterol. They may also reduce the amount of medications needed to treat chronic diseases, while also lowering ischemic heart disease and mortality rates. Olivier Mankondo has used a plant-based diet to transform the trajectory of his life. He was able to lose 35 kilos, 5.5 stones, or 77 pounds in just 9 months by adopting plant-based nutrition. He made the switch to strictly a plant-based nutritional regimen in 2016, and since that point, he's been able to clear himself of all of the chronic diseases he was suffering from. And he says that he hasn't been sick a single day since making that life and nutritional switch. Finally, he also says by making the pivot, he was able to slow down the aging process quite dramatically. And Mankondo joined me this week to have an in-depth discussion on plant-based nutrition, its benefits, dieting, and how it can help transform anyone's quality of life to live happier, healthier, and full of joy. I'm Kevin McShann. Let's have this conversation. Oliver, if you're ready, I'll take a moment to welcome you to the program, my friend. And I'm super excited to learn about your fitness journey and why it's so important to you. Great to see you today. And thank you for joining me from across the pond today. It's most appreciated.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Basically, my journey was in 2016. My health was not very good at all. I was suffering from a lot of ailment, and I was starting to change my way of my lifestyle, and it completely changed everything I knew about nutrition, about health, and all that. For example, the way that the medical system talks about the way the body functions, and all that was completely changed, was shifted in the way I was saying things. So I started to, so now with that new found knowledge, I wanted to share that with other people because it had a so profound effect on me. And I wanted people to know that being sick is not normal. The default is being in good health. And that's why I started my journey to start sharing all this message of health, where people need to understand that they need to be in good health, and our health is the default, and not being sick.
Yeah, absolutely. And Oliver, I'm more wondering about the personal journey that you've taken over the years, and how much you think people should really value taking care of themselves as a way to improve their overall quality of life.
Yes, to improve their whole quality of life, basically, they need to people need to adopt a whole food plant-based diet, which is not really a diet, but it's a lifestyle where you eat fruit, vegetables, legumes, grains, nuts, and seed. because this is the food biologically designed for the human mechanism. Because as we should know, we are electrical beings and we need microelectricity for our body to function in an optimal way. And we can only have microelectricity from live food. And why do I call them live food? Let's say, for example, if you've got a banana, which is a green banana. If you leave it there, after a couple of days, it will become yellow, right? And if it doesn't get eaten, after a week, 10 days, only then the rotting process starts. So you can see that the banana had a life, it was green, yellow, and ready to rot. But on the contrary, if you look, for example, at animal products, as soon as the animal dies, the rotting process starts immediately, which means it's dead food. And when you look at the whole food plant-based nutrition, all this food have got loads of nutrient, vitamin, phytonutrient, and fiber. And the fiber will act as a broom, and you're not going to be constipated, because constipation is a very big problem for most people. There are some people who spend 3 days, 4 days, even a week without going to the toilet. And this is very, very detrimental for the human mechanism. Because when you're constipated, and especially when you eat animal product and all that, the animal product, they've got no fiber and they will create constipation. So when you are constipated, all the toxins, all this rotting stuff will be reabsorbed into your bloodstream. And that's why people start suffering from stuff like high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer, Parkinson, and all the autoimmune diseases where the body destroys itself, like the inflammatory bowel disease, the lupus, the psoriasis, the rheumatoid arthritis, and all that. So just by adopting a plant-based nutrition, you're going to be spared from being constipated. And as I've just said, it's very bad to have constipation. And when you adopt as well a whole food plant-based nutrition, you'll be able to reverse 70% of the chronic diseases. And why is that? It's because when you eat the whole food plant-based nutrition, it's difficult for you to become obese. And when you are lean, automatically it's going to be difficult for you to have type 2 diabetes. Or for example, all the food that you eat in the plant-based nutrition, they're not going to build cholesterol in your system, and you will be spared of having a heart attack, strokes, and stuff like that. So just by being on a whole food plant-based nutrition, you'll be on no medication, you'll have lots of energy, you will have mental clarity, and all that. So this is how you improve your health just by adopting a plant-based nutrition.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm wondering if you can also talk to the fact that plant-based nutrition is becoming a much more popular medium, and how people are really embracing the shift in nutritional value when it comes to a plant-based diet.
Yes. So basically, people are recognizing, even in the medical field, that having a plant-based nutrition is the way to go. Because when you eat, when you look, for example, at the gorilla, we share 99% of the same DNA, which means that our digestive tract are practically the same. But you look at gorilla, what do they eat? They eat fruit, vegetables, and tender root. They do not eat meat. So when you look at that, you will see that we human beings, we are frugivores. And this is what we need to eat. And when you eat food like that, it's going to be difficult for you to be in a bad shape. And that's exactly why people are recognizing that fact that the plant-based nutrition is the way to go. And when you look at a lot of medical literature, you can see, for example, the China study, you will see that by adopting a plant-based nutrition, it's easy, or people can reverse a lot of chronic diseases. So it's becoming mainstream just because of the fact that people are recognizing that this is the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Oliver, I'm also curious to ask you, what does it mean to you to achieve optimal health? What do you think that means?
Yeah, for me to achieve optimal health, it starts with what you're putting at the end of your fork. And for example, when you eat a whole food plant-based nutrition, basically you will be lean, you'll be disease-free. And for me, optimal health is when a person has little to any body odor, they've got no bad breath, or they've got no bad breath. And for example, when you look at animal product, when you eat animal product, what's going to happen is that it takes too long in the human mechanism. For example, if you eat a piece of fruit, it takes 3 to 4 hours to pass through a system. You eat raw vegetables, it takes around 12 hours to pass through a system. If you eat cooked vegetables, it takes between 24 and 30 hours to pass through a system. But if we eat meat, fish, or chicken, it takes 72 hours to pass through a system. So meat takes too long in our system. And when you look, for example, if you take a piece of meat, you leave that outside for 3 days. When you come back after 3 days, that piece of meat will be in a rotting state. And when you look at our internal temperature is around 98 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's hot. So when we eat meat, the same rotting process that we see outside, it's exactly what's happening inside our guts. And that's why people who have bad breath or bad odor. And as well, having optimal health is, for example, having no food odor. Your urine and stool will not gonna smell. It's like me, for example, I've been on this plant-based nutrition for the past 7 years. For example, when I go to the toilet, as soon as I flush the toilet, there's no odor. So people in good health, the urine and the stool doesn't have to smell. They need to sleep soundly. When you are in good health as well, when you've achieved optimal health, you've got no skin rashes, no dandruff, you are not depressed, you are not stressed, you are barely have colds, flus, heartburns, aches and pains, and stuff like that. So people who have achieved optimal health, they are not on any prescription or not prescription drugs. So basically, for me, this is what means achieving optimal health.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, if you do a plant-based diet, some may worry about not getting the appropriate amount of protein. So, what would you say to people who are hesitant to adopt this as a way of life about replacing the protein they may lose by adopting a plant-based diet?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the question. Basically, that's what most people know. That's what we've been told, that when you stop eating animal product, you're not going to get your protein, because all of us, or most people, they know that you can only have your protein from animal product. But I will take again the example of a gorilla. When we look at the gorilla, like I've just said, we share 99% of the same DNA. But what do gorilla eat? They eat fruit, vegetables, and tender roots. They do not eat meat. So where do they get their protein from? Or you look at an elephant. They are the strongest animal on land, and they don't eat meat. But where do they get their protein from? They get that from the grass that they eat. The same way as gorillas, they take the protein from the fruits, the vegetables, and the tender root that they eat. So people don't have to be scared to think that if they adopt a plant-based nutrition, they will be protein deficient. It's like me. For the past 7 years, I've not had any animal product, and I'm not protein deficient. So if you eat a whole food plant-based nutrition, you can have your protein from beans, things like beans, lentils, tofu, chickpeas, chia seed, flaxseed, nuts such as peanuts, almond. You can have that from broccoli, spinach, and all fruit. So when you adopt this plant-based nutrition, people don't have to be scared of being protein deficient, because just by eating all these things like fruit, vegetables, legumes, grains, nuts, and seeds, all your protein requirement will be met. So that's how in a plant-based nutrition you can have all your protein requirement met just by eating that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Oliver, tell me, you shared with me earlier about your personal journey, but tell me from a professional standpoint, why is this work so important to you? And I know you're a professional speaker, and so tell me about connecting with audiences with this message as well.
Yes. In my the professional stuff that I do, I would like people to be able to know that when you start this plant-based nutrition, you're going to be in a very good health. And I would like people to remember me as the guy who told them that there was a way to be disease-free, because being healthy is the default. And it was like me when I was 46. It's when I changed my way of eating. And now that I'm 53, my health is a lot better. I don't suffer from all the chronic diseases that I used to have before. So what people need to understand is that when you start this plant-based nutrition, people don't have to say that, oh, I'm already too old, I can't change, because even when you are in your 60s, your 70s, your 80s, basically by adopting a plant-based nutrition, you'll be able to add another 10 years to your life. So this is really what I want in my professional life. That's the message that I would like people to be able to know. I would like people to know that by adopting a plant-based nutrition, it's going to basically make your life, you're going to live your life in a very good way. You'll be free of disease, because that's what we want. We don't want to age and be bedridden, or to have diseases. You become a burden for your family and stuff like that. And what I want as well is that when people adopt a plant-based nutrition, they need to be able to stop entertaining negative emotions as well, because you not only have to eat a good nutrition, but you need as well to entertain positive emotions, because if you entertain negative emotions such as anger, jealousy, envy, hatred, anxiety, all this will create an imbalance in your body. Basically, your body will start producing adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline will mess up your heartbeat. Your heart will start beating irregularly, and the cortisol will impair your immune system. And when your immune system is impaired, you'll be open to any kind of diseases. So the message, or the professional message that I would like people to be able to know, is that they need to take care of their physical body, the physical health, the mental health, and the spiritual health. Because at the end of the day, I think that we are we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. So we need to take all these into consideration so that we can have a very good life while we are still here on earth.
Yeah, absolutely. And Oliver, I also wanted to ask you about the concept of accountability and how important you think it is that people need to hold their own self accountable when it comes to prioritizing their health. So how important do you think accountability is as well?
Yes, accountability is very, very important, because if you want to change anything in your life, you need to be accountable, because without it, it's going to be very difficult to do any changes. And I understand that for a lot of people, it's very difficult for them to be accountable. As soon as they start something, they will stop. For example, at the end of the year, people will take a New Year's resolution, and then they will start in January. They will start maybe to try to lose weight. After a week, 2 weeks, they will stop. But when you are accountable to yourself, it's become very, very difficult for you to stop. And that's why people need to have a very big why. They need to know why they are changing, why they want to lose weight, and all that. And when the why is very strong, it's going to be easy for them to be able to follow that. And as well, if they're not accountable, because like I said, for a lot of people, it's difficult. That's why it's a good idea to hire a coach, a health coach, or a wellness coach, who will be able to keep you accountable, so that you can really change your way of eating, your way of your lifestyle, and basically move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And Oliver, tell me, I'm fascinated to ask you, outside of health and fitness and outside of your work life, my friend, what brings you the most joy in life?
Yeah, what brings me the most joy, I think, is to help people, because this is really, really what I like to do, is to help people. And that's why, apart, like you just said, apart from fitness and all that, it's bringing joy, bringing help to people. And basically, apart from that as well, I like to dive into spiritual stuff. I like really, I'm into meditation, I'm into self-development, and all these things bring a lot of joy to me as well. And the fact as well that I can take care of my wife, my kids, give them all this new stuff, it really, really makes me happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me reverse the question and ask you about your fitness routine, and sort of the checklist that you go through to optimize your own health that you think may be helpful for other people as well.
Yeah. So for me, the routine that I go, first of all, people need to have a good mental mindset, because in everything that we have to do, we need to have a good mindset. And that's why I was saying as well at the just a minute ago, that people need to have a very strong why. And when you start this, you need to know exactly what you're doing that, and you need to exactly know, put in your mind that what you're doing is possible, because a lot of people have self-limitation. They've got lots of self-limitation, and when you have self-limitation, it's going to be difficult for you to do anything. So that's what people need to do: have a very good mindset, start eating the right food, and then they need as well to be able to able to give the digestive system a rest. Because in the society, we've all been told that we need to eat constantly. But what people need to understand is that when you're constantly eating, it's going to be difficult for your body to do the healing and cleansing, because 80% of our energy is spent just to digest food. And while you are digesting food, the healing and cleansing cannot happen. So people need to eat less frequently so that they can see very good, their health will be very good. And in the routine that I always do, the first thing that I do when I wake up in the morning that people can implement is to do meditation. When you start your day with meditation, it's going to ground you, and you'll be able to have the rest of your day will be very good. And after that, I do some stretching exercises, because you need to be to move a little bit, because after your sleep, your lymphatic system, to be able to get rid of toxins and all that, you need to move, because in the blood, for the blood to circulate in the system, you've got the heart. The heart pumps the blood, but for the lymphatic system, there's no pump. So you need to get your body moving. So that's why I will ask people is to start moving. And as well, like I've just said, is if they can skip the breakfast, that will be good, because what I ask people as well is to do intermittent fasting. If people can incorporate intermittent fasting in the routine, that will be good as well, because with intermittent fasting, what's happening is that when you are not digesting, when you are eating, your body will produce insulin. And every time when you've got insulin in your body, there's a hormone which is called human growth hormone, which cannot be released while insulin is your system. And the human growth hormone is the hormone that will basically slow down your aging process. So the best thing to do is to start implementing intermittent fasting. And when you implement intermittent fasting, basically, because insulin will not be in your system most of the time, you will have the human growth hormone, and this will slow your aging process, and you will live longer. So basically, that's the steps that people or the routine that people can follow to improve their overall health.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And Oliver, I want to know about your view on healthcare equity because, depending on some communities in which people live, sometimes healthcare resources aren't readily available. So I'm curious as to how do you think we can expand the equity in healthcare so that more people can have access to quality nutrition and a better quality of life?
Yes, for me, what I would say is that people need to start educating themselves, and basically, we need to make that readily available. Because just for example, the question that you asked me, how we can have protein in whole food plant-based nutrition, and basically, I'm not going to get into political and stuff like that, but what we need to understand is that if the government can make this plant-based nutrition available to everybody, and to really tell to people that the best way to have good health is first of all to prevent being health, prevent to become sick in the first place, instead of just being sick and then seeking out to the medical system so that they can give you maybe some medication and stuff like that. But the best thing to do is to be able to prevent people from being sick. And the best way to prevent from people being sick is to, like I've just said, to educate people, to share this message so that people will be able to know that they need to take care of themselves, first of all, because if you have to just look at the medical system, which, by the way, is completely broken, but when you look, for example, at the emergency of when people are in certain type of trauma, yes, the medical system is very, very good for that, but certainly not for dealing with chronic diseases. And what people need to do is that message needs to be shared widely to all the communities so that it's become readily available so that people can take care of themselves, because health is it's your own responsibility. It should be people's own responsibility and not the responsibility of family members or the doctors. It's your own responsibility, because when we are born on this earth, the most important thing that we have, it's our body, it's our temple, and we've only got one. So we need to be the sole responsible for our health. And this is how this message can be shared to everybody so that people can be in good health.
Yeah, absolutely. It's important to take ownership of your own health journey, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. You need to take ownership of your own health, because, like I said, a doctor, they are good, as good as they can be, but your health is your own responsibility, because when you are suffering, it's you who are suffering the most, even if you can have your family members or the doctors around you, but it should be your own responsibility and not the responsibility of other people. And that's why in the message that I'm sharing, I'm trying to show people that they can take care of their own health just by eating the correct food, by looking at what goes into their mind, because if you are poisoning your mind with negative emotions such as fear, anxiety, and all these things, you're not going to be in good health. And that's why, for example, for me, since 2017, I've stopped watching TV, because when you watch TV, you will see that 99% of what they show is mostly negative, things that will scare you. And this is not good for your mental health, for your spiritual health. It's not good. So that's why I really, really think that you need to take your own health. It's your own responsibility. Yeah, that's what I can say.
Yeah, absolutely. And since you brought it up, I'm curious to ask you, how do you think mental health is linked to nutrition? And how do you think those two things are interconnected?
Yeah, these things are interconnected, because, like I've just said, I told you that when you start eating animal product, because from all the research that I've done, the animal products are not really designed for the human mechanism. I'm not really a religious guy, but if people look in the Bible, for people who are Christian, if you look in the Bible, you will see that in Genesis 1:29, it says that God told us to eat fruit and vegetables. He didn't say meat, fish, or chicken and stuff like that. So when you start eating animal products, what's going to happen, like I've just said, it creates constipation. And when you are constipated, all this rotting stuff, all these toxins will be reabsorbed into your bloodstream, and then it's going to circulate in your whole body. And when you have all this toxin in your body, it's going to affect your brain. It's going to affect most of your organs. And that's why people start suffering from mental problems. So it's really, really connected to the way we eat and the way we think. So basically, if people start eating the right food, they're not going to poison their bodies. They're not going to poison the blood. You will have a good blood will be circulating in your body, and it's going to be difficult for you to start suffering from mental health. But if you've got foul blood, just by all this decay stuff that are circulating in your system, it's very easy for people to start having mental problems. So it's really interconnected.
Yeah, absolutely. And Oliver, my final question for you today has to do with your own personal and professional legacy and how you want that to be defined.
Yes, for my personal legacy, I would like people to remember me as the guy who told them that they needed to be able to take care of their health, to be accountable for themselves. Because, like I've just said, people need to know that being healthy is the default. It's not being unhealthy. And if you start eating the right food, you start absorbing the right information, you start absorbing, putting the right emotions in your system. So basically positive emotion all the time or most of the time, basically you will see that your health will be very good. So I would like really people to remember me, my legacy, as the guy who told them that by just starting to eat a plant-based nutrition, by having positive emotion most of the time, by taking care of all the environment, they will be able to basically have a good life, a good health, and this will really give them, they will be able to have a longer and fruitful life. Because like I've just said, when we are born on this earth, the most important thing that we have got on this earth, it's our bodies, it's our temple, and we've only got one. So we need to make sure that we have, we take care of our system, we take care of our health, so that we live a good life. We are not a burden for our families and stuff like that, because it's going to be very not good enough that at the end of your days, you are not even able to take care of yourself, to go, for example, to the toilet, you are bedridden and all that. So it's very, very good. I would like people to remember me for these things.
Yeah, absolutely. And Oliver, finally, tell me, if people want to get connected with you, what's the best way they can do that?
Yeah, if people want to connect with me, first of all, I will give you a link so that you can give your viewers and your listeners a free download, which is my 7 tips to lose weight, where they can learn, have some tips where they can basically accelerate their way of losing weight. They can go as well on Amazon, because I've got my book, which is the Plant-Based Nutrition, How It's Going to Change Your Life, which is available on Amazon, where they can learn all the stuff that I've talked about today. And also I've got a 16-week one-on-one coaching program where I teach people how to lose weight. And on basically what's happened is that they can go on the link that I will give you as well. I've got a free online masterclass where people can go. They can watch that for free. And then towards the end of the masterclass, they will be able to book a call with me. And on that call, basically what will happen, we'll see where they are stuck. what's holding them back. And from there, we'll see how I can help them to be able to move forward, to help them lose weight, reclaim their health, because what is really, really important is not really to lose weight, but to start eating the right food and to be in good health. Because there are some people who are very slim, but they are not in good health. So my program gives people not only that they're going to lose weight, but on top of that, they will be able to reclaim their health and basically have a good life. And they will be able to take care properly of their bodies, to take care of their family members and all that. So basically, that's how people can really get in touch with me.
Fantastic. Well, Oliver, I want to thank you for your work in plant-based nutrition and helping people live a healthier and happier life, my friend. Your work in the space and time on my behalf today is most appreciated, and I want to thank you for being here.
Okay, thank you very much, Kevin, for having me. It's me as well who are saying thank you to you for giving me the opportunity to be on your show and to be able to share this message so that people can be aware that there's a way to live a good life, to be disease-free. Just like me, for the past 7 years, I've not been sick a single day, and I would like to pass this message to people so that they can know that it's possible to live disease-free without having to rely on medication and stuff like that. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be on your show.